Good day, friends. Today I want to study about the procedure and precautions during loading, carriage, and during discharging of liquefied natural gas, that is LNG. General precautions during loading and carriage and discharging. Pre-arrival planning. Cargo plan prepared. Considering tank capacities, fuel quantity, boil off rate, and stability, cargo compatibility and terminal requirements checked, emergency shutdown (ESD) and communication signals agreed with terminal. Next, pre-transfer meeting. Ship shore checklist completed. Manifold, hoses or arms compatibility confirmed. Maximum loading or discharging rates agreed. Safety checks. Gas detection system operational. Emergency shutdown system tested. Inerting or purging condition verified. Firefighting system ready. Exclusion zones established. Now, LNG cargo loading procedure. First, inerting of cargo tank. Cargo tanks are inerted with nitrogen to remove oxygen before loading. Oxygen content reduced to below 1% prevents formation of flammable mixtures. Verify the oxygen levels in the tanks before loading. They should be reduced to below 5% to avoid combustion risk. Tank cooling, pre-cooling. Cool down the cargo tanks to the required temperature before loading begins, especially for cryogenic cargo like LNG or ethylene. This process is done gradually, which could damage to the tank structure or insulation. Use vapors from the liquefied gas cargo or liquid nitrogen to cool the tanks. The pre-cooling process must be carefully maintained to ensure even cooling across all tanks. LNG spreads gradually into tanks through spray lines. Temperature reduced slowly from ambient to minus 160 degrees Celsius. Prevents thermal shock and tank damage. Cool down rate controlled as per ship or terminal limit. Gauging up. Nitrogen displaced by natural gas vapors. Methane concentration increased to acid safe LNG temperature inside the atmosphere of tank. Oxygen completely eliminated. Now, start of loading. Manifold valves open slowly. LNG introduced at low rate initially. Cargo pumps and spray pumps are used to control tank temperatures. Evaporator line open to show to handle displaced vapor. Bulk loading. Loading rate increased gradually to agreed maximum. Tank pressure continuously monitored. Boil off gas, that is BOG, returned ashore or handled by ship's reliquefaction or gas combustion unit. Temperature control. Monitor the temperature of cargo as it begins loaded to ensure that remains within the allowable limits. If the temperature rises too high, the cargo may start to vaporize, leading to pressure buildup in the tanks. Monitoring and gas detection. Continuous gas monitoring system should be in place around the loading area, pipeline system, and vent stacks to detect any leaks of flammable gases. Ensure proper ventilation in spaces near cargo handling equipment to avoid the accumulation of toxic or explosive gas vapors. Dropping off. Loading rate reduced as tank approaches final level. Precise monitoring to avoid overfilling. Automatic shutdown systems on high level alarms. Communication. Ensure that ship's crew and shore personnel handling the loading operation maintain open and clear communication at all times. Completion of loading. Manifold lines drained and wound. Disconnect cargo arms or hose. Final allowance, temperature, pressure recorded. Complete the cargo documentation. Now, precautions during carriage of LNG. Pressure and temperature monitoring is vital equipment for while we intend to carry the liquefied natural gas. Continuously monitor the temperature and pressure inside cargo tanks. This is crucial to prevent gas vaporization and maintain cargo in liquid state. Alarms should be in place to warn any deviation from the acceptable limits. The insulation and cooling the insulation system of tanks must be regularly inspected to ensure they are performing effectively, minimizing heat ingress from outside. For refrigerated cargoes, ensure that the refrigeration plant is operating efficiently and maintaining the cargo at required low temperature. Inert gas maintenance. Inert gas must be continuously supplied to void spaces around the cargo tanks to ensure no oxygen enters the space, which could lead to an explosive atmosphere if any gas leaks occurs. Regularly check the inert gas system for leaks, flow rate, and purity. Cargo stability. Ensure that liquid cargo remains stable within the tanks. These include monitoring the tank levels and performing ballast adjustment if necessary to maintain the vessel's stability. Ensure boil-off gas (BOG) is handled properly, either by re-liquefying the vapors or safely venting them through a controlled process. Safety zones and alarms. Maintain clear safety zones around the cargo tanks and cargo handling systems. Ensure that gas detection, fire alarm, and emergency shutdown systems are in place and operational. Environmental protections. Adhere strictly to pollution prevention protocols under MARPO. Ensure there are no accidental release of gas into the environment in case of a leak. Emergency shutdown system and venting mechanism must be engaged immediately. LNG cargo discharge procedure. Pre-discharge Pre-discharge preparations. Ship shore checklist completed. Cargo tank pressure adjusted. Vapor return system effectively operational. Cool down of shorelines. Slowly introduce the LNG to shore pipelines. Prevent thermal shock. Start of discharge. Start cargo pumps at low speed. LNG transferred to shore tanks and boil up gas properly to maintain the tank pressure. Control discharge. Discharge the cargo gradually to prevent rapid temperature or pressure changes that could damage the tank or the associated equipment. Continuously monitor discharging rate and adjust accordingly to ensure the safe transfer. Bulk discharge. Run cargo pumps at normal speed to maintain the agreed discharge rate. Continuously monitor the tank level, temperature, and pressure. Properly handle the boil-off gas. Monitor cargo handling equipment. During discharge, ensure the cargo pumps, valves, and pipelines are functioning properly and are free of leaks. Regularly inspect pumps and pipelines to prevent mechanical failure during discharging operations. Vapor handling. Manage the vapor system effectively to handle any gas vapor generated during the discharge process, particularly for gases like LNG, the boil of gas at low temperatures. If the ship has reliquefaction plant, ensure it is operating correctly to convert vapor back into the liquid form and return it into the cargo tanks. Stripping. Stop cargo pump at low levels. Stripping pumps or reductors are used for stripping. Discharge maximum possible LNG. Retention. A small quantity of LNG retained in tanks as hill. Hill maintains tank cold condition for next loading. Completion of discharge. Lines drained and parsed. Close manifold valves. Disconnect cargo hold or arms. Final cargo calculation done. Communication. Maintain clear and effective communication with shore personnel. Follow established discharge procedure. Post-operation procedure. Cargo tanks kept cooled using hill. Tank pressure monitor. Safety system reset. Logbook and cargo record book completed.